Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Another episode of Quran for Hearts and Minds, the power of maqamat. And today we're going to explore yet another instance of extreme grief followed by an unusual form of relief that a remarkable Prophet of Allah found, and that is Yaqoob alayhi salam. When his sons came to him with the shirt that they put blood on, and to come up and concocted a story about what they have done with Yusuf, or what Yusuf was the victim of, the wolf that he was a victim of. Yaqoob alayhi salam knew that they're lying. He also knew before any of this happened that their sons are going to do no good. So when they were convincing him to let him go, it's interesting if you say, we're going to take our brother with us, he's going to play Yarta'u Yal'ab. He didn't say that I am afraid that a wolf will eat him. Because when something hasn't happened yet, you don't mention sadness, you mention fear. But he says, لا يحزنني أن يأكله الذئب. It's making me sad that a wolf will eat him. Sadness doesn't have to do with the future. Sadness has to do with the past. Fear has to do with the future. You don't get sad about the future. You get sad about the past. When Yaqoob alayhi salam is mentioning something that will happen in the future, but he's expressing sadness, it's almost as if he's saying, the wolves are already here and they've been making me sad for a long time. It's really interesting indirect language to suggest that he understands that the actual wolves that are going to eat his son have been trying to eat him for all this time, and now they've reached a point of no return, which is actually what makes him sad. He has a deep sadness about what his sons are actually saying to him right now. And he also knows he doesn't have the power to stop them. It's now or at some other point, something is going to happen, right? And he knows when they say, oh, let Yusuf come with us, he's going to play. You're not the kinds of brothers that normally play with him. You're not the kinds of brothers that speak nicely to him. I know the looks you give him, and I know you're not interested in going and playing with him. Something else is going on here. And the fact that you are covering it up and talking to me in this way and thinking that you can manipulate me also makes me sad. It's the disappointment of a father that's first captured in this sadness that Yaqoob alayhi salam is expressing. But then after that, when they come back and they come with this, this shirt, they, فَلَمَّا ذَهَبُوا بِهِ وَأَجْمَعُوا أَنْ يَجْعَلُهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ. Now Allah has told Yusuf alayhi salam that you are going to be telling them of this vile deed of theirs one day. And he did exactly that eventually when they had that reunion, right? But now they come with fake emotions. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. They come to him in the evening crying. And I think the evening is mentioned as if to say, they didn't want to come right away. They wanted to come at nighttime because they wanted to look like we were looking for him all over, but then it got too dark and we couldn't even find him. And that's when we came home. Otherwise, we would have just stayed out there, but it was just getting too dark and too cold and too late. So it was hopeless, right? It didn't take them long to throw him into a well, and they could have just come back in 45 minutes, right? But they come until the evening and they want to look like they've just exhausted themselves in the search and add to the convincing drama that they're creating, right? The power of propaganda to sell the story. That's what they're doing to their father. So they sell the story. Ya abana inna dhahabna nastabiq wa tarakna Yusufa inda mata'ina fa'akalahu adh-dhi'b wa ma anta bimu'minin lana. So it's interesting when they told him this, right? That we were running around, we were racing, we left Yusuf at the picnic basket, we left him with our food. And while we were racing, a wolf came and it ate him. And you're not going to believe what we're saying. You're not going to believe anything we're saying. The reason they're saying you're not going to believe us, before he even called them a liar, right? It's either the look on his face, the sadness on his face, maybe even before when he saw them crying, instead of him saying, why are you crying? Or what happened? They just start talking and telling the story, and they're gauging his face, and his face is already telling them he doesn't believe what they have to say. وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ, even though we're telling the truth. And then, no. And he's still silent. The Quran doesn't say anything about him speaking more. He's still just listening to them, and his face is showing them this disbelief. So they're like, you know what? It's time to bring out the nuclear weapon, the shirt. Because the shirt was a last resort. In case he doesn't believe us, we'll use the shirt too. So جَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ. And at this point, Yaqoob alayhi salam talks to his sons about what he really thinks. سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا. Yourselves, your inner selves, some dark part of you made this easy for you to do. You convinced yourselves to do this and told yourself it's okay to do what you've done, right? And he's really sad at this point. He's not saying shaitan got you, or he's saying yourselves did this. You're responsible. And it's, how hard is it for a parent to admit that their child is a criminal and actually be able to tell them there's no good in what you've done and you've done this all yourself, right? And if you say my child has done the most heinous thing, one child has potentially killed another one of your kids, that's the situation he finds himself in. And even then, he's not going to abandon those children. He's not going to say, get away from me. I don't want to see your faces ever again. You're not my sons anymore. No, Allah has given this commandment to us that we have to keep family ties. And he's still going to be the only positive influence he can be in their life. He's staying where he is. And he's going to continue to be their dad. And he still has to fulfill the responsibilities of a father, even to his criminal kids. Even to these boys that have done the worst possible thing. How do you at the same time deal with the pain of losing Yusuf and the pain that your other children did this and the pain that they're lying to you about it, they're not even sorry about it? I mean, it's one thing that they did something bad and they're sorry. They're coming up with a fake sorry as if to say they are proud of what they did. They stand by what they did. They're more interested in appearing sad than being sad, right? They don't have any genuine emotions towards neither Yusuf's pain nor Yaqoob's pain. My sons don't care about their brother. My sons also don't care about me. I don't care about the pain that they've caused me. This is the feelings he's experiencing from these sons in that moment, right? How abandoned does a father feel in this moment? That my own sons have this deep level of hatred for me and for my son, that they would go this far, and all for what? To tell themselves I'm gonna love them if they do this. This is how far gone they are. How what a lost cause, right? At that point, if I try to put myself in that unimaginable position, I would just disown my kids. I would just not want to ever talk to them again. How could every time I look at them, I'd see what they did to Yusuf. Every time I look at them, I just remember how they faked crying. Like there's a crime on top of a crime on top of a crime. And every one of them is a dagger through my heart as a father, right? And after all of that, the words that come out of him are Fasabrun Jameel. Fasabrun Jameel. That, like, this is so ugly. All of it's ugly, and even if you don't know much Arabic, the word Jameel is beautiful, right? Everything about this situation is ugly. And Yusuf alayhi salam, or Yaqoob alayhi salam rather, says the only thing left that's beautiful in my life is sabr. Sabrun Jameel. Nothing else is left that's beautiful. And if beauty will ever come back in my life, it'll come by me showing beautiful sabr, meaning I have to maintain composure over my emotions. And I can't help the situation. I can't change the situation. I can't tell you to go out there and bring him back. I know you're not going to listen to me. You'll come up with even more lies. Wallahu al-musta'an ala ma tasifun. Whatever descriptions you're coming up with, whatever stories you're making up, only Allah's help can be sought. I understand this is beyond my control now. And I am letting this situation go into Allah's hands. Fasabrun Jameelun ala ma tasifun. It's a very heavy thing that Yaqoob alayhi salam has taught us. We might find ourselves in a situation where the closest people to us have hurt us in the worst possible way. The worst possible way. And they're not even sorry about it. And they're okay with causing others pain and causing you pain so long as they get what they want. And they're still your family and they're still connected to you. And you still have to have sabr. And at that point, it's not even humanly possible. So he's asking Allah, Ya Allah, in this ugly situation, replace this ugliness with something beautiful. And that has to be the sabr. Fasabrun Jameel. And I can't do this by myself. These words that keep coming out of their mouths, they keep adding more pain. They bleed me even more every time they open their mouth. I can only ask for Allah's help now. Wallahu musta'an ala ma tasifun. Even though Yaqoob alayhi salam lived a life of pain, we're learning in this surah that his pain was manageable because he kept on turning to Allah. Even later on we see, right? وَإِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. I'm taking my grief and my pain and I'm taking that to Allah. I'm not talking to you. I don't need to be vulnerable to you. You can't handle that. I'm only going to be vulnerable to Allah. We all need someone in our family we can talk about our problems. I saw you and your brother yesterday and how close you guys are, right? So you're going through something, you'll talk to Abdurrahman. You'll talk to you. They're close to you. You can feel a connection to them. But then there are people sometimes in your own family, you can't trust them. And you open up to them, you tell them something you're feeling, and you know things are going to get worse. And they will hurt you even more than the situation, right? Yaqoob alayhi salam is in a situation where the people closest to him are the people that are the most far away from him. He's safer with a stranger than he is with his own children. That's the situation he's in that situation for years. For years. It's an ugly place to be. So he says the most amazing words in that ugliness. Fasabrun Jameel, wallahu musta'an ala ma tasifun. I pray that Allah gives you and me the relief that we need, these words that we need, if we ever find ourselves in a situation anywhere close to what Yaqoob alayhi salam found himself in. So let's listen to these remarkable ayat from Shaykh.